At a friend's Christmas party, and neither of us were really invited. We didn't have anything to do that night, and so Dan went with a couple of his buddies, and I went with my sister and her husband. And apparently the guys were talking out in the backyard about us, and I was sitting in the kitchen just hanging out, and a swarm of like 5 guys came in and were all staring at me, and apparently had in their minds that they were going to hook us up. So they all came in, was like, not to make this awkward or anything, but Brooke, meet Dan. And so that's how we met, a random Christmas party.
From the ground up, now till forever, it's all of me, all of you. Just take my hand and I'll be the man your dad hoped that I'd be, and we'll be.
When I got there, my friend Aaron came after me pretty quickly, and him and Chris, who is Brooke's brother-in-law, took me aside and said, you got to meet this girl. So one thing led to another, one awkward introduction and handoff, and despite any awkwardness, we connected and we had a long conversation that night, 2 or 3 hours just hanging out at a Christmas party, talking about some pretty deep stuff. And didn't get her phone number, but I knew that it was kind of my plan all along. I'd see her at church the next day and thought I could snag it there. So fortunately she showed up and got her phone number, and the rest is history.
Till forever, it's all of me, all of you. Just take my hand.
Came into work that day, and I walked in the door, and I do transport for Children's Hospital, and she came up to me and said, or actually it was one of my coworkers, said, hey, do you mind going on this transport? It's to O'Neill, but if you go on it, you can go home right away. And I was like, sure, I'll go home right away after I go. So I got my flight suit on, and looking back, all these things were kind of weird happening, but I didn't really put them all together.
I managed to, through a lot of help from her work people, to coordinate a way for her to come in on a day that she didn't even have to work. She switched with somebody, I think it was Friday or Saturday morning, and she was called out for transport to pick up a baby in, ironically, O'Neill, Nebraska, where I'm from. And as she was getting there, I was scrambling to get everything ready. I had the GoPro up on a plane, and it was waiting at an airport.
So we had gone with the ambulance, and we almost got to the airport, and one of the nurses on transport was like, oh hey, the plane must be delayed a little bit, let's go grab some coffee. And I was like, okay, that's weird, because normally it's like an emergency and we have to go out really quick. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So we pull up to the Millard Airport where we take off, and the pilot came up to the door right away and said, hey, we have to take a smaller plane today, like something's going on with our normal plane. And so it was like this little pedal jumper plane that was sitting out there. And
so she shows up at the airport to get into her small plane, and I was inside waiting for her with the ring. She came out of the ambulance, I jumped out and got down on my knee, and I think I scared her just crazy, because the look on her face was priceless. So she said yes right away, and then she confirmed it again. We were so nervous, didn't even give her the ring right away. But we then took pictures and jumped onto the plane and took it down to Kansas City, celebrated, and just had a good time.
A picture of 65 years in one little house, more than a memory, more than saying I do.
Dan is just such a patient, loving, everything that I've ever wanted in a man. He just has it. I never thought I would be marrying a father, but knowing that he's such a great father right away, and knowing that he puts us first and God first, and he provides for our family, and I never imagined meeting somebody and being in this situation, but knowing that, you know, he is just such a leader for our family, and he's funny. I laugh probably every day of dumb jokes. He's like, I'm glad you'll be laughing for forever at my dumb jokes, but I do. They're funny. And he just comes from a great family like mine, very solid Christian family that's, you know, very focused on what matters, and it's just great.
All you need, beside you I'll stand through the good and the bad.
I love that she loves God most. And from there, I think that builds the foundation for the family that I feel I want to be a part of. And the way she loves God is amazing. I mean, her heart for other people is a result of her heart that has been shaped by her relationship with God. So I think single-handedly that's where it all starts.
No, I know. No. Oh. 2,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. I love you and you. 1,000. 1,000.
I'll stand through the good and the bad. We'll give all that.